If you remember, yesterday we looked at the pictures of the various slides and we talked about them. Today we are going to find the slope of a given line. And before we can do that, we need to know what slope is. Slope is the measurement of the steepness of a line. And when we're talking about slope, we talk about rise over run. So take a second and write that down. And now we're going to look at some lines. So in order to rise, I have to be down low. So I have a point here and a point here. What I'm going to do is pick my lowest point, and I need to rise straight up. So I'm going to put my pencil on this lowest point, and to rise up to this line, I need to go up 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, I meant point. So I went up 3 lines to get to where this point is. And now I need to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my rise was 3 and my run was 7. Now to determine if it's a positive slope or a negative slope, if we run back or the left, then it's a negative slope. If we run forward or to the right, then it is a positive slope. So for this first one, I ran back or to the left, so this is a negative slope, so I put my negative sign in front, and this is just like a fraction, and I check to make sure can I simplify it. And because 3 and 7 are both prime, I cannot simplify that fraction, so my slope is a negative 3/7. For my second one, I find my lowest point, and I rise first. So I'm going to rise up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'm going to run 1, 2, 3 to get to that point. So my rise was 7 and my run was 3. And when I ran forward or to the right, so it's a positive slope. And I do not need to put the positive sign in front because if there's no sign, we know it's positive. And 7 and 3 cannot be simplified, so I'm just going to circle that one up. For my third one, I find my lowest point, and I rise straight up to the second point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines, and then I need to run 1, 2, 3 lines. So my rise was 6, and my run was 3. And because I ran back or to the left, it is a negative. And a negative 6 over 3 is the same thing as a negative 2. So this slope is a negative 2 because 6 divided by 3 is 2. For this fourth line, I can't rise at all. So I'm going to have to put a 0 for my rise, and my run is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if I have 0 out of 4, that means I simply have 0. So this slope is called a 0 slope. For this line, I start at my lowest point, and I rise 1, 2, 3, 4. So I rose 4, and I can't run because I'm already there. So the 0 goes for the run because I can't run. Now 4 out of 0. It's not possible to have 4 out of 0 because if I have none, then I can't have 4. So this line is called undefined. So if we look at this line is called a horizontal. So anytime you see a horizontal line on a graph, you know it's going to be a 0 slope because I can't rise on a horizontal line. And if you see this line, which is called a vertical line, then you know it's going to be undefined because I cannot run on this line, so that makes it undefined. What I want you to do next is on the bottom of your paper, I want you to create a sequence chain I've written the 4 steps up here, but they are not in order. So take your time, read them. If you need to, go back and look at what I did and decide which of these is the first step, which is the second, and which is the third. When you finish that sequence chain, I'd like you to turn your paper over, and there are 6 practice problems. And if you have any questions, please write them down, and we'll share those practice problems, and we'll share the questions tomorrow in class.